actually have a few students. We were wondering if we were going to have more speakers than students. Close. So I think most of us are speaking theoretically to the students that were here. So what I learned on my summer break that was 20 years long. First, I started with gifts at Union High. In his little one-liner for me, Tony was saying that the Uni wasn't my favorite place. I would say more accurately was that high school wasn't my favorite time. Adolescence is not an easy period. In fact, actually, as I've gone back into psychology training, there's a whole bunch of diagnoses in the DSM-4 that specifically say this does not apply if you're a teenager. There's a quote that behavior that as adolescents would be considered mental illness at any other stage of life is considered normal. So, at the same time, Uni really trained us in what I consider the master skill of life, which is learning how to learn. As opposed to a lot of schools where it's very regimented and they take responsibility for you and from you, we're given tremendous freedom here to succeed and fail at different times. But surrounded by teachers and parents who love learning, supportive, challenging peers, I didn't realize that I was smart until I actually got out of Uni into the rest of the world. I graduated in the bottom half of my class here, and I was like, whoa, wow, college is easy in comparison. So self-discipline, perseverance, personal responsibility. So now for the students, we've got an exercise for the alumni, so you can just watch. So for everybody here who was in high school, I want to just raise your hands if any of the following statements resonated with you back in high school. Okay? I'm not good enough, and no one likes me. Okay? Others are much more feeling your own, intelligent, attractive, popular than I am. Okay? And my favorite, I'm the only one who feels The secret of high school, right? Pass it to your peers, or hoard it if you want. Everyone is insecure in high school. In fact, through most of life. The challenge and the question of life isn't whether or not we feel bad at times, whether we feel insecure, unworthy, hurting, whatever. The question is what we do with it. Right? Life isn't here to be easy. Life is here as something that supports us in growing and learning. Uni gave tremendous fundamentals in that in school, and those same skills can be applied to life. Right? That would be the biggest thing I learned. Attitude is everything. The core choice point in life is when faced with a challenge, do we go into victim consciousness? Oh, someone's to blame. I'm so small. It's all everybody's fault. Or do we take ownership of our life, of our emotional reactions? For the secret is that when we give up our personal responsibility and claim that somebody else is responsible for our upset, we're also giving up our power. Right? Because if the problem is out there, then where is the opportunity to change? Out there. Right? We have to fix the world before we can be happy. Instead, I actually went into computers for 10, 15 years because people were too hard to understand. I could not figure out the algebra of people, the algebra of happiness. But after 20 years, long summer break, I'm back. Right? And I want to give you the algebra of happiness. Right? First one, suffering equals pain times resistance. Right? There are challenges in life. Everybody has some amount of pain, some amount of insecurity. Right? P is a constant, fairly. The real difference is how much we fight it. Right? If we go into, oh, the world shouldn't be this way, oh, it's all your fault, oh, I'm going to run away from this in any way possible, then the pain gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse until we finally face it. Second thing, when it comes to love, we tend to think of as either accepting, like, oh, everything's okay, it's all wonderful, or as disciplined, more the motherly or the fatherly side of love. Whereas love is actually both, and it's tied together. It's a multiplicative. So it's a question of accepting everything in life exactly as it is, while also constantly working to learn how to do better. Right? And if you do just acceptance, you get abused. If you do just discipline, you become the abuser. But love is when we bring both of those together. And then personal responsibility, the level to which we take ownership for our lives and our emotional reactions, is equal to the level of personal power we have and the level of personal freedom. And that is the key to everything. And of course, utter brilliance of brilliance. It took me 20 years to learn the truth of this. I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you. And out of the mouths of babes. There's a thing in psychology called projection. And we all do it. We do it all the time. We just don't usually realize we're doing it. Wow. Another way of calling it is the mirror. Right? The secret of life, one of the secrets, is that others' upset has nothing to do with you. If people are teasing you in high school, if you're teasing people, if you're feeling bad, if people are getting upset, nothing to do with you whatsoever, because they're only thinking about themselves and their own world and what's going on for them. The same thing is, our upset has nothing to do with anybody else either. So this thing called projection, what we do is when we're upset and we're not yet willing or able to look at it, we see it around us. Right? So if we go into victim consciousness or blame, oh, they should be nicer to me. Okay, look in the mirror. I should be nicer to me. Right? Oh, they're so stupid. Ah, look in the mirror. There's someplace inside me where I think I'm so stupid. Right? If you want to know what your friends' insecurities are, look at how they tease and accuse other people around you. And then just flip it around and do the same thing for yourself. Right? This is the secret to an awful lot of understanding of confusion is cutting through this. One more, the myth of falling in love. Right? Wherever you're at on this one, students, the story is that when you fall in love, that means you found your soulmate and you're going to live happily ever after, just like in the movies. Right? This is a story. In truth, relationships are hard work. As far as I can tell, their purpose here is to challenge us and force us to grow more than anything else. So the truth is, oftentimes, what we really fall in love with is the collection of our unresolved issues. And then our opportunity is to work with those and grow in the relationship, take responsibility, become bigger, better, more mature people. There's a key dependence. We tend to start relationships in a place of codependence, where we're expecting the other person to complete us. I call it half puzzle love. I'm a half puzzle, you're a half puzzle. I'm looking for the other half puzzle that completes me. Right? As opposed to mature love is where I'm a whole puzzle, you're a whole puzzle, and we get to dance together. So, conclusion, you're doing great. You're probably doing a whole lot better than you believe you're doing. And you can do almost anything you want in life if you learn how to learn, you keep at it, and you take 100% personal responsibility. There's a saying that we tend to drastically overestimate our ability to change in the moment. We assume that we have infinite free will, and if I'm feeling bad, well, I should just be able to take control over it and change it. This is a lie. Not true at all. When our emotions take over us, they've taken over. When something goes wrong in the world and we're stuck in that challenge, we're stuck. However, we also tend to drastically underestimate our ability to change over 10 or 20 years. If you decide that you want to do something, you want to change something, and you keep at it for 10 years or more, you could literally do almost anything you put your mind to. And that's what I learned over my summer break.